I'm Colin Bryce, World's Strongest Man television show, but what I really love is Mariners TV.
Castillion Narrow defeat today against Celtic in the third place playoff. What were your thoughts on that game?
Yeah, I thought it was a really encouraging display from us. I think we bounced back from yesterday's game really well, and controlled the territory and controlled possession, particularly in the first half, and with a bit more ruthlessness and a bit more clinical finishing in around the box. I thought we could have been a lot more comfortable than 1-0 at half time. Fair play to Celtic. I think they've maybe had a few stern words at half time, and they've come out with visibly a bit more energy and intensity to their play, and maybe we've not responded as well to the half time break as what they did. And then of course, the kind of inevitable, multiple substitutions has made the game a little bit bitty in the second half. But we've achieved what we want to achieve out of this tournament, in terms of getting players in around 120 minutes each across the two games. It's been a great exercise in us, from a tactical perspective, but obviously also from a physical one. And now I think now is the time, during this pre-season period, for us to really now, we've used a lot of young players, given them some great experience, but it's now time for us to kind of focus the squad, cut things down numbers wise, and really start to prepare for the season proper. We've got two games left on the next two Saturdays, and we've got to treat those two games like 3 points is at stake. And it's up to the players now to really stake their claim for that first team sheet on August 18th.
Matty Patterson scored our goal today. Were you encouraged with his display over the weekend?
Matty was fantastic, I thought. The goal was an absolute touch of class. Great, quick thinking from Michael. He's put a quick corner in, but the way Matty's kind of caressed and guided the ball at the far corner is different class. But generally speaking, again, we were a little bit apprehensive about how, because he looked so sharp before he went away on holiday, how he would come back from that holiday break. But he's come back and looked really, really sharp, and we're absolutely delighted that we've got Matty in a great place at the minute, and he's going to be if he continues on that vein of form, he's going to be a huge player for us this season.
It's been difficult thing over the last few weeks. Obviously, a lot of players been away on holiday. It's been hard to get your first 11 on the pitch. I hope that will change over the next 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, well, we've got, obviously today we had Craig Baxter, who's still suffering from a knock. Blair Adams, who picked up a knock yesterday. Chris Hunter, who picked up a real tight groin yesterday. Robert Briggs, who's away this weekend. Josh Gillies, I've already mentioned him. So we've had a number of players, Gavin Cogden of course, who's been away on holiday. So all of those players should be available in the next few days. The only one that's going away is Liam Connell. So we've now can really hopefully work together truly as a group, and yes, it has been frustrating not to be able to get anywhere near what we would consider our starting 11 on the pitch at any given time. But that will now hopefully happen, in the training sessions and in the games up until we start the season properly.
The test that we're going to get against Tadcaster and Cleethorpes, do you think it'll be sort of similar to sort of test what you're going to get in the league this season as well?
Well, yeah, I think Tadcaster showed particularly the second half of last season that that they're a team on the rise, and I'm sure they'll be going into this season with good aspirations of finishing high up in that league this season. So that would be a good test for us. And obviously Cleethorpes, they finished well into the top half of the First Division South last season. So yeah, it'll be, I think it's probably more of an appropriate test, more of a relevant test to what we're going to face over the first few weeks of the season. And like I say, we've now got to, because I think it's maybe the first time me and Graham have experienced back-to-back defeats here at the club, albeit they're friendly games. We want to kind of get that winning feeling back into the squad, into the changing room, and hopefully we can do that over the next two games.
Next up is Bolton on I think it's Wednesday, isn't it? In the Sam Barton Cup. You mean mixture of first team and academy?
Yeah, it will be. So it'll be a lot of of the under-19s, who, you know, many of which have played in this tournament this weekend. And, you know, like I say, I just listed a number of first teamers that have been out for various reasons last week or a few days. You know, so we'll have, you know, a good handful of first team players that'll be part of that squad to give them the extra game time that they need in preparation for their season.
Just finally, a final word on the tournament as a whole. How much of a pleasure was it to sort of welcome clubs like Marseille, Celtic?
No, it's been brilliant. It was almost surreal turning up to watch the game on Friday night, to see, you know, Marseille and Celtic on the Mariners Park pitch. And yeah, the only thing that's kind of let us down this weekend is the weather, unfortunately. But there's nothing we can do about that. It's still been a fantastic, you know, exercise. You know, and I'm sure and hope that you know, the other three teams feel the same way about it. And you know, we'll see if it's something that we want to do again next year.